Hi, it's Alaska Granny. Today I wanted to share with you some life-saving strategies for preppers, some emergency preparedness challenges that we all might face. There are all kinds of emergencies that can happen. We can look at just the current events that have been going on in the last few months, or things have been going on since the beginning of time, from volcanoes, earthquakes, winter storms, tornadoes, hurricanes. There are all kinds of reasons that we need to be prepared for an uncertain future. The longer we live, the more we know. Bad times come to everyone, and it's never when you expect. So it's just prudent and wise to be a prepper and to prepare so that you can take care of whatever is coming in the future. The first life-saving strategy for preppers is clean drinking water. No matter what the emergency is, we all need clean drinking water to survive. We need to have some water stored in our home, but then we also need to have a way to purify water should the water that comes into our home be contaminated, or we're stuck out in the woods somewhere and we need to purify water in the wild. You need to decide what's most likely to happen to you. If you don't spend any time in the woods, you probably don't need a water filter. Maybe you want something like I have in my home. I have a Berkey water filter. I can purify all the water that comes into my home, yet I can also pour contaminated water into it and it purifies it. If you like hiking, camping, fishing, and you spend some time out of doors, perhaps you want something as simple as a life straw. You can purify all kinds of water with a life straw, and it's a simple process to have an inexpensive water filter that you can rely on. The next life-saving strategy for preppers is to gather a large supply of food. You need ready-to-eat meals, open a can or package, eat it as is, things that you could just heat and serve, or things that you could just add water to. Things you could combine and make simple meals. If you had no running water, no electricity, something you could prepare with the water you have stored, or with your camping stove. Think of some of the challenges. We hope these things will never happen, but they do. I've lost power in my home many times. The water stopped running or was under a boil alert. And these are challenges that we need to face that are likely to happen no matter where you live and what your circumstances. So be prepared to face those kinds of challenges. Have easy to open food and a way to heat it up. Then that's another reason why you should have stored drinking water. You'll need some water for food preparation. You'll also need some for hygiene needs. You'll need some water for washing your dishes for your food preparation. I'll put a link to a video I made on different ways to do your dishes and serve your meals when you have little or no water. Things that might help you looking forward in an emergency, or just if you're going camping or picnicking. Then just remember, things wear out, things spoil, they get used up, they disappear. Make sure you have planned extras for that, and maybe a few extra items in case you need to barter with someone for more things that you may need. Having some things that you could share or barter or trade with could actually end up being a strategy that's worthwhile. I'll put a link to a video I made about some things that I consider worthwhile to stock up a few of, so that I have things if I need to barter, things I would and wouldn't barter, and the items that I consider essential for those kind of purposes. A life-saving strategy is to make sure that you have an assortment of things that you also need besides food and water. You're going to need some hygiene supplies, things like soap and water, toilet paper, paper towels, cleaning utensils, things that you would need to maintain a safe and healthy lifestyle. Along with your first aid and sanitation, you'll want some simple tools and just a supply of basic things like flashlights, lanterns, batteries, lamp oil, supplies and items that will help you through power outages, hurricanes, lockdowns, things that you want if you couldn't leave your house for a week. What are the things that you would rely on having that would make your life easier on a day-to-day basis? The next life-saving strategy for preppers is to realize healthy people live longer. Eat healthy foods. Get enough exercise. Avoid things that you know are not good for you. Stockpile things like first aid, hygiene supplies, vitamins, and the necessities that help keep your life running smoothly. If you have pets and small children, plan the supplies that you would need for them. Do you need pet food? Do you need diapers? Do you need prescription medicines? Make sure that you have thought about those things and that you have enough on hand that if you, in an emergency, you aren't required to go out and try to find those things. The next life-saving strategy for preppers is to own sturdy shoes. Make sure you have a pair in your closet. Make sure you have some in your car. Have some at your place of employment. And if you're heading out for the day, don't go with just flip-flops. Make sure somewhere in your pack or in your car or somewhere you have a sturdy pair of shoes. What if you ended up you have to walk a long distance? What if there are thorns and stickers? What if you come across broken glass and debris? You need a way to protect your feet. So you need to have a sturdy pair of shoes that should you need to walk home, walk out to a road, all those things that could happen, you can at least get going because you can put on your sturdy shoes. Then even if there's an early season snowstorm, you can put on your sturdy shoes and get walking, whatever your emergency requires. Another life-saving strategy for preppers is to learn new skills. The more you know, the better off you'll be. Maybe you'll need a supply that you don't have and you can barter a skill with someone else. And everything that you know how to do for yourself means that the safer you will be, the more confidence you'll have, and the more you'll be able to face and challenge, knowing that there must be something I've done like this that might help me in this situation. If you've problem solved a lot of things, it gives you the confidence that you can problem solve more things and that you're going to be okay. And it's a challenge, it's not a disaster. Think creatively. Gather the supplies a little at a time. Think about multiple ways you can use your supplies so that the more ways you know how to use something, the more things then you end up actually having. Most importantly, you need to be willing to help yourself. Don't sit back saying the normalcy bias. I've always been okay, everything will be fine. Why wouldn't you want to be a prepper and prepare to take care of yourself? Why would you want to go to the store tomorrow for the dinner you need that night and find out there isn't anything left? Or go out and find out your car is out of gas and you can't even get to the store even if there was something there. I remember a friend that I had who used to drive her child to school in her pajamas. And I always said, aren't you afraid something might happen? Oh no, what could go wrong? It's just a mile to my home. And there she was in a winter storm in her pajamas and her slippers when her car broke down. I mean, it's just like so simple to prepare for the unexpected. If you know, think back to Murphy's Law. If something can go wrong, it will go wrong. And you want to think about the challenges that you could face and be ready to face them. Think creatively so that you can face the challenges that come to you. Think of them as problem solving rather than as a catastrophe. And you're going to be in a better mindset and you're going to be prepared to face things rather than scared. We are blessed with the gift of time. Make the most of it. If you enjoyed my video, I hope you'll share it with someone else you think might like it. Learn more at alaskagranny.com and please subscribe to the Alaska Granny channel.